Let's get to Brian Sullivan, who has more on this story for us. Brian, what's going on?
All right, well, there's a lot going on here at Chesapeake. I mean, think about this, Kelly. At its peak, Chesapeake had a market cap of more than $7 billion. The pride of Aubrey McClendon, the now deceased founder of the company. Well, now with today's decline, its market cap is basically $100 million, and it's sitting on $9.5 billion in debt. I want you to think about that. Chesapeake's debt load is 7,500 times that of its market cap right now. I mean, what a huge fall for this company. They writ off an impairment charge of $8.5 billion in the quarter. Still, the company's, its liabilities are exceeding its assets, and the company coming out with a filing saying that it has great concern that it will no longer be able to go on as a going concern, and that bankruptcy at Chapter 11 certainly is one of the options that Chesapeake is going to be looking at. The balance sheet has been in big trouble for a long time, Kelly, and this certainly just making it worse. I mean, we showed the stock, but at some point, you're only showing it when it's down 98%, well below our normal market cap requirements, but it's got the shares outstanding even after that reverse split. I think it's important to show it. I think we have a 10-year chart. You can look at that as well. I mean, this has been a painful story, I know, all the way down. And those 6,000 numbers, Kelly, that's because it did that 10-to-1 reverse. So make that 6,000 into a 60, the 8,000 into an 80. Quickly, you mentioned the payouts here. On Friday night, after the market closed, they put out an 8K with the SEC, basically saying they're going to revise. Many senior execs are going to forego bonuses for this year, but they are eligible for a $25 million payout split amongst 21 executives, payout earlier this year if they meet certain criteria and stay for the year. Also, they're going to provide bonuses to the rank and file employees. They're going to try to keep operating when it's got to be a very difficult time and has been for a while for
Brian,
Chesapeake. Kelly,
real quickly on this, you know, so if it files for bankruptcy, or perhaps even if it's able to avoid that, it's going to be going through a huge negotiation with stakeholders and lawyers and so forth. Will that compensation be at the heart of this? In other words, will those, either the equity holders, bondholders, you name it, be able to have a say in whether that $25 million gets paid out or not?
I don't know if they'll have a say in it because the board passed it and they filed it Friday night, but I'm sure they could complain about it. I mean, listen, Whiting Petroleum, a little different story because Chesapeake is offering bonuses to its rank and file employees as well. Whiting Petroleum, which bankrupted a couple of weeks ago, they did this sort of late night, you know, so we're going to pay out the top executives. Here's $14 million. That generated a firestorm, at least within that industry. So Chesapeake, tough times there, guys. $8.5, $9 billion in debt, market cap of $100 million.